Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by VisitPierSD.com.
Welcome to Dakota Destinations. This is the start of the third season of this show, and with that, we'd like to welcome our new sponsor, VisitPierSD.com. Pierre, South Dakota is already known for being the political and the economic capital of the state, but it's also the tourism and outdoor recreation capital as well. This season, we want to show you all that the Dakotas and the Midwest has to offer. So on this episode, we're going to take you to Seward, Nebraska, who hosts one of the largest Independence Day celebrations each summer. And from there, we're going to go 2 states north and a little east to Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, which is now home to a unique outdoor facility. So with that, let's get started on our journey. Midco Sports' Alex Heinert is going to take us to our first destination down in Nebraska, where the streets of Seward take people to new heights on the 4th of July.
Welcome to Seward, Nebraska. This typical Midwest town 26 miles to the northwest of Lincoln is home to roughly 7,000 residents on any given day. But every July 4th, Seward becomes anything but ordinary. Each year, an estimated 40,000 people gather within the city limits to celebrate Independence Day. The city has hosted festivities on the nation's birthday since 1868 and has become something of a magnet for red, white, and blue revelers, so much so that in 1979, Congress named Seward America's official 4th of July city. But while Seward's 4th of July celebration features a parade, an apple pie eating contest, a giant fireworks salute, and many other Independence Day standards, it's what takes place on Main Street that separates this city's celebration from others you might see across the country. For the last 24 years, on July 4th, Seward becomes the nation's unofficial capital of pole vault. The 4th of July street vault competition began in 1990, the brainchild of Jason Berry and Gene Brooks, both of whom were vaulting for Seward's Concordia University at the time. It's grown from a novelty event for local collegiate athletes to a full exhibition that featured over 90 competitors across 10 divisions this summer. Berry, who now coaches pole vault at both Concordia and Seward High School, explains how the event came to be.
A group of us back in college, just highly competitive people, and we loved to find excuses to compete. And they used to have the fireworks show at the college, and we thought, oh man, there's all these people out here, why don't we vault? So we called all of our buddies, all of the other college vaulters, and said, we're going to have a competition before the fireworks show on the 4th of July city, and they just showed up. And so we started vaulting, competing, having a good time, and it's kind of developed.
Brooks, a 5-time national champion vaulter at the NAIA level for the Bulldogs, says that even though the event started small, it didn't take long for it to grow.
The first year was probably, it wasn't bad, it was probably 20 people. It caught on really quickly. It was a big event. We were pulling people from a lot of different states, different levels, Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA.
We never advertised it. They just learned that we had this crazy event in Seward, Nebraska, and everybody just showed up.
The popularity of the Seward Street Vault didn't spread because of a cutting-edge marketing strategy or a barrage of social media advertising. Instead, according to Berry and Brooks, this was a grassroots movement from the beginning.
Word of mouth is amazing. The kids behind us, they're the marketing. They're the advertisers. They're the one that talk it up. It's fun to go to state track meets, and you hear some of the great vaulters at state track meet go, oh, I'm going to vault on the 4th. And then it just spreads.
It's just word on the street, you know, in the pole vaulting community. There aren't that many street vaults that happen, and word spreads quickly.
It just started to build and build and build. Next thing you know, we're like, oh man, we're so excited. We got like 20 people coming. And oh, we got 30 people. You know, a couple years ago, we had over 60 people. I'm like, man, that's huge. We had one runway, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna put a second runway. 2 years later, we've got 94. 94 vaulters. Now I have people talking, you need a third runway.
The event has grown to draw vaulters from coast to coast, with athletes ranging in age from 5 to 45 from across 14 different states. Over the years, the field has included high school state champions, NCAA and NAIA national champions, and U.S. Olympians. Two of the most decorated athletes at this year's competition were Bridget Gross, a 3-time national champion from the University of Sioux Falls, and Christian Sanderfer, a University of Nebraska vaulter who earned runner-up honors at the Big Ten Indoor and Outdoor Championships last season. Both have been regulars at the 4th of July vault in recent years, and both are big fans of the event.
Heck yeah, 4th of July, pole vault. I'm ready. I want to go. The first year rained, so we vaulted inside, but came back for 2 more years, and it was beautiful like this, and I've had a blast.
I enjoy it every year. I make it something of a precedent. I like to show the crowd what pole vault has to offer and show the younger kids what you can accomplish. You can really have fun with the event and just show the crowd what you're all about. You don't have to be super serious all the time, which is a nice change of pace.
That laid-back atmosphere, combined with the patriotic nature of the day, lends to the variety of interesting uniform choices, and maybe surprisingly helps the competitors reach new heights.
There's nothing to qualify for. There's nothing you got to prove. It's just come out here and be relaxed and have fun, and sometimes you actually end up performing a lot better than when you have all that pressure on you.
It makes things a little more relaxed. I mean, everyone still want to be focused and do well, but I think for the nervous wreck kind of people, it adds a little bit of fun.
Fun, unique, and a part of something bigger in a small town in Nebraska, the 4th of July Street Vault checks all those boxes.
You don't find this in the typical Americana. This is a unique environment, and there's a lot of small town events, but this is a big small town event.
I mean, I think it fits well with the theme of 4th of July, independence, freedom, pole vaulting, flying high. It's awesome.
We don't make a lot of money on this. This is just for the love and passion of the sport. If we can continue to build the event, build the knowledge of the pole vault, and build the community of it, the sport's just going to thrive.
And thanks to the dedication of Jason Berry, Gene Brooks, and many others, on Independence Day in Seward, Nebraska, pole vault will continue to thrive for years to come.
Thanks to Midco Sports' Alex Heinert for that story. That event actually drew in 82 vaulters just last summer. And if you'd like more information on the event or how you can participate, you can visit their website at vaultdogs.com. Well, up next, we're going to stick with heights and show you how a mountain in Detroit Lakes was given a new life.
Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by VisitPierSD.com. Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by VisitPierSD.com.
Welcome back to Dakota Destinations. Detroit Lakes, Minnesota is now home to a 4-season recreational facility, but it hasn't always been that way. Here's a little history about a revived mountain.
Very rarely do we get the opportunity to see things come back to life. And although mountains are technically impossible to bury, Detroit Mountain for some is considered a resurrected entity. Located in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, Detroit Mountain was once a privately owned and operated alpine ski resort that drew local families outside for a few months of winter recreation. Detroit Mountain continued to be a snowy pastime for over 50 years, but its life as a ski resort ended in 2004 without plans to reopen. Because it was privately owned, saving the mountain seemed impossible with the amount of funding it would take until a local group of community members came up with a campaign called Bring Back Detroit Mountain, which aimed to raise money as a nonprofit with a new vision. And in 2014, after years of planning, fundraising, and reconstruction, the mountain was given a new life and an extended name. And according to General Manager Jeff Staley, this group only had one thought in mind when reviving the mountain.
Our goal was to reopen the ski area, but expand it into a 4-season recreation area. So we wanted to offer much more than skiing, and Detroit Mountain in its former phase didn't offer any kind of summer recreation. It was privately owned and operated, and that family worked hard all winter in the operations, and then either worked in other areas or took the summer off.
Their vision is now a reality. Detroit Mountain and Recreation Area not only offers the beloved winter events, but also includes hiking trails and gravity trails for mountain biking in the warmer months. Detroit Mountain doesn't have your typical biking trails though, but has complex courses that have lured mountain bikers from all over the states.
Unique in our area of the state for sure, that we've got lift service mountain biking available. Spirit Mountain is the only other area in the state that provides that. And then unique to our area is that we have all of these man-made wooden ride-over features, different wall rides, different bridges. That really is not found anywhere in the States.
Progressive Trail Designs out of Fayetteville, Arkansas is the company that took on the task of building the gravity trails. Nathan Woodruff says when they were given the project, the area was a blank canvas, which gave their imaginations room to generate creative ideas for new features.
You know, these are first class, what we call downhill flow trails. Jumps, variety of jumps, some awesome custom wood features that the build team, put together here. They have built-in progression, which is what makes it, unique.
The built-in progression allows riders at any level to participate in excursions on Detroit Mountain, from those just starting out to those ready for the Black Diamond.
It's probably going to be something like you've never experienced before if you haven't ridden mountain bikes a lot, because it is purpose-built for bikes. So, it's like an amusement park for bikes, basically, So you can expect a lot of, berms and rollers and jumps and different things that, are super fun to do on your bike.
Although Detroit Mountain is primarily for active entertainment, Progressive Trail Designs has noticed a reoccurring theme in areas where mountain biking trails are built.
It's incredible what it does for the community, in terms of the social impacts and the economic impacts. New businesses start to flourish, such as bike shops and such, and then you create an active outdoor lifestyle, a culture. And that's what we've seen in communities around the country that we've helped develop trails, especially smaller communities like Detroit Lakes.
Through the first full year, Detroit Mountain has already seen a boost in activity in the commercial area, attracting well over 1,000 visitors to the mountain on weekends and seeing as many as 1,600 during big events. The economic factors are huge, but according to one of the inventors of mountain bikes, the health benefits outweigh everything. And up next, we'll introduce you to mountain biking legend Gary Fisher and give you some riders' reactions on their first time down the trails.
Dakota Destinations on Midco Sports Network is presented by VisitPierSD.com.
The winter features at Detroit Mountain continue to draw in crowds, but that's nothing new for those that are familiar with the mountain in its former life. As of July 2015, it's the newest edition of gravity trails that have created a bigger response. From wooden ride-over bridges to jumps and berms, the courses captivate guests and even attracted one of the biggest bike industry icons, Gary Fisher, to the grand opening in 2015. He helped create the very first mountain bike in the 1970s and was later inducted into the Mountain Bike Hall of Fame. Fisher says even back then he knew mountain biking had great potential to become a big sport.
I've always seen opportunity. People ask me, well, when you first started this, do you ever think it was going to get this big? And I say, actually, I did. And people are like, sort of, huh? That's sort of egotistical or something? Okay, I'll accept it. I don't care, because it's like I have the reward of people coming to me constantly and saying, you changed my life for the better. It's the greatest reward a person could ever have. And I don't feel finished at all. I feel like there's so much more opportunity
Fisher wasn't involved in any part of the recreation of Detroit Mountain, but travels as an ambassador to new courses around the world to speak at big biking events. And it only takes one conversation with Fisher to understand his position on the sport.
I want to see some measures, get some measures in place of the health of our community. Right? How many, the scores, right? Some real measures. And that's what I'm after. Is I want to reverse these bad trends that we've gotten into. And it's, and how many calories? Well, it's like I went to the guys at Strava.
Thanks for making mountain bikes a reality.
Hey man, thanks for coming out and riding. The guys at
Get
Strava.
a lot of that.
Oh, a ton. People that, the haters against bike riders, they'll say, yeah, these guys, all these Strava kings are out there now racing at 25, 30 miles an hour. Well, the reality is, you go to Strava, I get the information, like the average speed is like more like 14 point something for women and 15 point something for men, over the whole thing. And here's the other one though, that I'll bring up. You know how many calories get burned out there? And this is a score. This is a real measure. Is how many calories does this facility burn a day, over the year?
True calorie measures have yet to be collected from facilities, but Fisher says relational factors also increase in places like Detroit Lakes.
Mountain biking grows like crazy, and then, it's like mental health goes up, relationships between parents and their kids gets better. There's a number of different measures, and I would love to get all these measures and start measuring them, because when you start showing them to people, oh man, it makes a difference.
But if the numbers never come, it's an internal awareness that places like Detroit Mountain help you uncover.
It's like to get up and to breathe deeply every day. What a treasure, to me. I mean, I'm almost 65, and it's like my health has gotten so good by just continuing to ride the bike, and I'm just like, and half of my friends, it's really hard for me to talk to them anymore because, their problems, they think they're going to be cured by some new pill or something like that, and it's just not working for them, and I keep, and I've said a number of times to them, the regimen is like, you ride a little the first day, a little more the second day, and you start using your body again.
Those that visit the mountain are becoming more aware of the health benefits, but it's the experience of actually going down the trails that keeps them coming back for more.
Hey man, this is awesome. This thing is fast. Got a lot of fast hills, fast jumps, and the berms, the obstacles. They're amazing. So now I'm going to go back up and hit it hard again.
People don't understand just how good this is going to be for everyone. It's really, once the kids get out here and try it, they're just going to be amazed how awesome it is. Yeah, I've been all over Utah to all over the state, and this really has a piece of every bit of it here. From Cuyuna to Spirit Mountain to some of the Copper Harbor trails. I mean, it really is a piece of everything.
It's fun, it's close, I live close, I come out here every day. We got my friends out here, and now they come, and it's awesome.
Residents from Fargo-Moorhead provide the mountain's biggest base of visitors, saying the best part is the small distance they have to travel for the adventurous gravity trails.
They care so much about their trails, and they put so much effort into them, and it really shows, and it's just super fun out here, and I just love it. Any of the downhill courses is really fun because you have to go all the way up to Duluth to do downhill. So coming here 45 minutes from Moorhead, it's perfect. Something different.
There is a level of fitness that's required for participation, but visitors have to understand there's also a level of danger. There are no ride-arounds on some courses with large ride-over features, meaning you have to go through all structures to come out on the other side. The risks don't keep visitors away, and after just 3 weeks of opening the summer portion, General Manager Jeff Staley says the mountain was well received.
Oh, they're loving it. Some of our trails are not that easy, and sometimes some of our guests come in and I kind of do a little bit of an assessment and go, oh, I'm not sure how they're going to like it, but then they get back, they come out and they're smiling, they have a great time. So you can ride at any level really, and they come back sweating, and they've had a good workout and exercised, and just a blast, and it's unique to this area. They can't experience this anywhere else around us. So Very happy. We get lots coming through, you know, from other states. We had a guy from Oklahoma earlier who was on a tour through this part of the state, read about us, was biking here for a day, and then was going over to Cuyuna to bike for a day, and then was heading down to the southern part of Minnesota to do motocross racing. So, you know, the word is getting out, and we're seeing that traffic from all parts.
Because your bike has potential to come off the ground riding over jumps and drops, some personal bikes might have to go through an inspection before you're allowed to hit the trails. And if you don't own a mountain bike, that's okay too. Detroit Mountain has a rental shop, and the staff will lease you safe equipment needed for the day. If you've already visited the mountain, you already know all the great experiences it has to offer, but are probably wondering what's next on the staff's agenda. Staley recently gave us an update on the new additions for summer 2016, saying there's plans to add 5 more miles of cross-country flow trails this spring in time for the summer opening Memorial Day weekend. And they have plans to begin on 4 to 6 more gravity trails, but there's no official word on if those will be ready by this summer.
An upcoming event for Detroit Mountain includes the weekend mountain biking race, which is June 4th and 5th, where an estimated 450 riders will gather as part of the Minnesota Mountain Biking Series. And if you want more information about other upcoming events, you can visit their Facebook page or their website, DetroitMountain.com. Well, that's all we have for you on this week's episode. You can join us next week for more Dakota Destinations.